My name is Mark Webster. His name is Mark Baxter.
I do.
Wow, interesting kind of Latin.
Yeah, I've noticed the accents.
Don't know why.
No, I've noticed that. Me and Will both been talking about it earlier.
I don't know why it comes from.
Well, I don't know if it's down here. I think it's all getting picked up Norwegian.
It's a little tweak, just a little variation on the theme.
We have noticed it.
Yeah, Clobbered. Wow.
Yeah.
Please say hello, Norm. Of course, he's our leader, a man who we aspire to. His look is available to you as a T-shirt, as indeed is our logo. It's on all bits.
Love the man.
You'll notice in front of him, though, let's go with a row of Plim-Soles.
Plim-Sole.
But let's try and dress that up a little bit.
Bumpers.
Because we're talking
now
rubber-soled shoes.
We're talking... Good.
That meets canvas. That's the big deal.
We're talking Plim-Soles, which I love that word, and bumpers, as we also know them as, before the mass corporations got involved with logos and names like Adidas.
Totally.
Right? We're talking plain white bumpers, and I still love those. I absolutely love those. And these are from...
Yeah, whose are these ones, for example?
This is from our mate, Fred the Shoe.
Really?
Fred the Shoe was a
his thing?
Very well known shoe man, sold shoes, and he had a deal every year: white for the summer, black for the winter, £3 each, 2 to a £5. You could not go wrong, apart from the sizing, which is 12, but I reckon about a 10.
I'm going to say
so they were a little bit
that's
neat.
A squeeze.
So you go running around them thinking, I look the nuts in him, and you would be crippled very quickly. But what a price. And I took a load of people down there because I say to people, they're £3 each.
You've got to do it.
And also another shop worth mentioning while we're in that area, Blackman's in Cheshire Street, now long gone, very sadly gone. Fiver a pound.
You're getting there. I think what we need to do, and we're going to go a lot farther back, but I suppose the conversation we need to have is our relationship with these things are infant school. Onwards. Little black things with the weird U-shaped thing in the front.
Very strange, him. I always think of Woolworths when you mention him.
Well,
Winfield specials. I think.
Equally, Woolworths is where I first saw another thing that we're going to talk about, which is the deck shoe.
Oh yeah,
which I don't know why Woolworths felt that there was a yachting audience that would particularly want to go and pick those things. Oh,
load of yachts,
ton of that stuff. Oh my God, how are we going to grip the deck unless we nip into Woolworths to buy these things? That's us as kids. The weird thing is that they, and before we get into the literal detail of these things, I know in mid-70s, the deck shoe, for example, and even the Plim-Sole and the bumper boot crossed over into that kind of soul boy club culture. The bumper boot, let's say, my version of the bumper boot is that terrible black high top.
With a thing on the side.
Which was available everywhere. I'm going to guess market, but we called them bumper boots. I think it might be but I've had this conversation before, it might be a southern conversation, and with all due respect to the regions.
The regions, yeah.
But they always were just basically the cheap version of not having shoes on.
Definitely market.
But they had no other significance other than being a sports shoe or a leisure shoe, didn't they, as kids?
Well, I was thinking about it this week because we obviously were going back, and I kept thinking that like cartoons we would have watched as kids, especially like in the 6 weeks early, would have might be an American cartoon or American TV show, and they would have probably wearing Converse. We don't know what they're called.
Quite.
Our version would have been something like that, and they would have copied the badge. It wasn't a Converse; it was a copy of it.
Sure.
And they were called bumper boots. They were literally like an eye top, as you say. You got them from Woolworths or certainly arcades.
Yes,
I love an arcade or a market, and it would have been a very cheap canvasy top.
That's the point.
And a rubber sole.
All that mattered in this conversation is where canvas met rubber.
But they
it's
look-
not trainers.
But they look like something that this kid was wearing in America or on a telly.
Totally look from somewhere else.
And you was aspiring to
Apart
look.
from our terrible Plim-Soles,
'Cause it's just-
which were exactly the same
This is
thing.
the days before the brands hit us hard.
Agreed.
But I
Okay.
think that's why we still love them.
Oh, wait, totally.
Men of a certain age, hands up, we still love a plain Plim-Sole because that's what we grew up in. We never grew up with any logos.
By the way, Plim-Sole is a word which comes from Plim-Sole line, which is a bloke who established the level of water.
Yeah, naval expression.
So that's where the shoe comes from. So it's adopted from that. The naval shoe with the deck shoe
Yes.
is massively important in this conversation. Let me try and walk this back a little bit further.
In your deck shoes, yeah.
I don't quite know where. The order is interesting. It's Converse, PF Flyers,
Which I never heard of this week. So yes, your one.
granted, and Keds, which is also a US rubber company. But I know that you've been looking at what is called the Docksider, which is probably the prototype, it would seem, in time-wise.
I think it's the original boating shoe, the Sperry. We're talking about Sperry's.
So Sperry's the firm,
Yeah. A guy,
and it's a guy.
a guy called Paul Sperry, who,
Yeah.
born in 1895, so quite a long while ago. Does his military service, stays in the military quite a long while, comes out of the military, and I love this bit, sets up a duck decoy company, as you do.
It's been,
As you do.
Bax, it's been my dream. It's been my dream.
He's trying to decoy ducks, as you do. He's on a boat, he slips on the boat, and he goes man overboard.
Idiot.
And he blames the shoes. The shoes had no grip, no traction. So he starts looking at that, being an ex-naval man, and he discovers that his dog. Stay with me, kids. Stay with me. He's noticed that his dog runs around the boat and doesn't slip. Looks at his paws. He's got little grooves in his paws. So he starts cutting channels into his Plim-Soles, like these. He starts cutting the channels in there to get the traction. It works.
It
And
does.
They become the Sperry Topsider, which he then sells, I would say millions probably, to
by the way,
US Navy
So
for the next war.
the military are wearing them. I mean,
'Cause like aircraft-
and famously, but cool guys are wearing them as well, aren't
Well,
they?
Paul Newman is your man.
Oh, perfect.
When I see photographs of Paul Newman, there'll be one about around here by the time this comes out, and he's got them on, and that's all you need to know. And they're still available. They've not really changed the design. They've kept it pretty much as it was, and they still look fantastic.
Whenever, and virtually every 30 seconds, when you're thinking like, in your head, you're going like, oh, trainers. This is not kind of trainers. This is kind of cutting through the trainers conversation.
pre-training.
This is an opportunity for you to just kind of wear a shoe that's not a shoe, that is
Just a casual
also
shoe.
not a trainer,
A casual shoe.
which is massively
Your
important.
dad would have worn out holiday camps, wouldn't he? That's how I remember it. Just
You would.
casual shoe.
And also, whether
Where's my Plim-Soles?
and whitewash them
Yeah,
as well.
the whitewash.
Get the little sponge out. And
Hours of fun.
They're also not necessarily deeply attractive as footwear.
Oh, I love them. I love them.
So let me walk you through this kind of little myriad, which is US Rubber Company.
Yes.
Let's give them a bit of a go.
Go on then, where you go?
1916, US Rubber Company. This is all around Boston. This is where they start. They do the thing called the Champion, and the Champion is not necessarily particularly anything other than something like we've just discussed. A guy there called Marquise Converse.
Oh,
I think I put a bit of a spin on the way he says his name this week,
Okay.
but it might be Marquise Converse. But he's Converse.
oh yeah. Well, yeah.
So Converse ends up,
Yes.
this is all around the same area, Massachusetts.
That's it. Yeah.
It's rubber manufacturing. This is not glamorous. I mean, kind of, by the way, we should point out, we've acknowledged the green flash in our past.
We have.
It is basically the American version of that conversation of talking about that. Cutting to the chase, the thing that we understand and know, and this is the version that I have with me here, which is actually by Carhartt, But that logo there, All Star, is the story. The shape of that shoe is the big deal. Well, I'm kind of jumping ahead. 1921, Charles Chuck Taylor.
Yes, indeed.
Joins the company as he's a semi-pro basketball player, and he's playing for the Firestone Non-Skids out of Akron. Now, Firestone obviously clearly immediately means rubber and tyres.
And like Paul Sperry who went in the water,
totally.
he's not skidding.
He's the other way around.
Yeah.
Akron, by the way, broader stroke, is where LeBron James is born, and is massively that deal.
Ohio, is that right?
So, exactly, yeah.
With a band Devo I'm going off a tangent here. Devo from here.
Are they really?
I think so. Akron, Ohio. Yes, I think so.
They've got the lot.
Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. But
they've got the lot.
Anyway, I diverse.
So Charles Chuck Taylor, so he's a salesman. All he does is he adjusts the shoes that they're trying to make. He goes out on the road. He's selling them. They give it the name the All Star, but to this day, as we know, and we don't use it so much, but the Americans call them Chucks.
Chucks, yeah.
We call them All Stars, I think, a little bit more, don't we?
All Star, yeah.
But this guy's got his signature on them. A semi-pro player. That's all he was.
I read up. He was a semi-pro player, but not only a salesman, but he also he coached the factory basketball team.
Totally.
So he's worked his way through the end. I mean, even the name Chuck Taylor, I had not a clue who he was, but I knew the name.
But you wouldn't.
We know the name.
And also, I would almost guarantee you for decades, everyone's going to assume he was a big deal.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was a massive early basketball.
But bizarrely, he wasn't.
No.
That in the end, actually, the first guy who actually got that kind of sports endorsement was a fella called Bob Cousy, who played for the Boston Celtics, and he's out of the PF Flyers world.
Oh, yeah,
and the PF Flyers are another conversation entirely.
Yeah, totally.
Posture Foundation.
No.
I know.
Oh, dear.
The reason I know about these.
I've never heard of these guys.
So much of this is the fact that these are generation names that got bought. I bought a pair of PF Flyers in the 90s. I saw them in a window I was working in New York and in Manhattan. I'm going like, they're these weird, cumbersome.
You like weird and cumbersome, don't you?
Thank you. Guess what they appealed to? Guess what they appealed to me?
They should have been over.
But the thing was, is that they were actually, they'd been bought up at that stage. I think it was like Nike had already gone.
Yeah.
So I was buying, but at least they were kind of, there was a vague honesty in the way they looked, much in the way that these were.
Yeah.
This is US Rubber Company.
Yes.
These are bought in Richmond, not Virginia, near Kingston Thames.
Very similar.
These are heavy shoes.
They're not heavy, actually.
Pick them up.
Yeah, they're just.
You ain't dunking in them.
They're not
a sports shoe.
I mean, Freddy's shoe, you fly away like a little fairy cake.
Not a sports shoe.
Not them ones, no.
But they're also part of the conversation because this is where Marcus Converse worked. They put the first shoe up there. This is this one. As I say, that one's a very modern version. But the reason it's a modern version is because in 2019 they made their return. So they're back now. So US Rubber Company is also part of this conversation. And that's why it's interesting. We've got a couple of other older brands to talk about, but there's so many new brands who are going canvas on rubber in there.
Yeah, I mean, this one here I like. These the Supergar. Supergar. I never knew how to say that till today. I checked Supergar, but it's Supergar.
I might have heard on that side, but I agree with you entirely.
Italian brand.
Yes.
Walter Martini. Great name. What a name.
if I don't need this room and my name isn't Walter Martini, then I've had the worst day of my life.
Not Martini with a Y, which is, you know.
I was saying possibly even better. Possibly even better.
Turin in 1911, and it's literally.
And by the way, again, that old.
I do wonder why would you need these in 1911? But I'm just thinking it's just an alternative to a pair of shoes, a casual shoe.
Yeah.
You know, you had a hard day in the field and the weekends come along, put them on, lovely. They were the shoe of Italy. They were known as the shoe of the people. This particular style is a 2750. Chuff everyone. And these were just plain as you like, but they got that Euro chic look. I love them, and they've never really changed too much. They stayed true to that.
In my head, I picture, and I think even in my, I've got family photographs, is old relatives with proper clothes on, because they never sort of like actual leisure clothes, but like, okay, relax. I'll roll my sleeve up two times, and I think it's my Uncle Stan. He's got his trousers rolled up a couple of times.
And he's got a pair of
Plim-Soles on because it's his relaxing time.
It's his weekend away, or the Charabanc trip to the coast.
Yes,
or where it would have been. It would have been a real. So you can imagine they were wearing their former trainers, and these were the Tupaga were the trainer of choice of the people until the brands all turned up. People wore these every day. In probably just white. I mean, maybe a black. Now there's colours galore. It's gone,
excuse me,
but they're keeping up with the business as it is now. But at the time, they just everyday wear for the punter.
And now I know you struggle with the principle of a casual shoe. You and I have had this conversation for
I do.
many a long year.
I do.
You indulge a little bit. Did you go per Jack Purcell in the end?
No, I never had a pair of Jacks.
Jack's an interesting guy.
Very interesting guy.
Because the last thing you're going to think about the Jack Purcell shoe, which lingers to this very day, it's been around for literally 100 years, 1935. Of course.
90 years.
Of course. Good point.
But
yeah,
what's
well done with the match.
What's 10 years between friends, really?
I took the 5 and I ran with it.
You know, it means nothing.
But what's important is we all want to wear a Canadian badminton champion.
World champion.
Shoes, yeah,
World
totally. Who come over here and played a little bit as well. But he designed that shoe. And the little smiley is his thing.
The blue smiley.
To this day, 90 years on, man.
I did that this week, and when I read that, what impressed me the most was that he was unbeaten from 1933 to 1945.
What a man.
The man was unplayable. You could not beat this fella.
But it was badminton.
Badminton, but still quite a skillful fella.
Totally.
He retires in 1945, becomes a stockbroker.
Did he?
As you do. And said, you know what, that's fine. But how about a pair of athletic shoes? That's what they call them. They never had the word trainer. Athletic shoes. And he puts his name on them. And the Jack Purcell, I mean, I've grown up with people, hello Michael, who absolutely love a Jack Purcell. It's like the holy grail of the trainer world. I've never had a pair personally.
There's no specific reason why they should beat a Converse All-Star, except of course just that tiny detail of the smile on the front.
But that's the most important thing.
And as we sit here, I am jonesing for a pair of simple white high top Converse All-Stars.
Oh well,
because it feels like it comes back again.
They work for
I need them again. I need them again in my life, and. New stuff, but new versions are getting made, aren't they?
We need to go. We're going to go shoes like pottery.
See, this is a new firm.
Now then. No, in 1873, by the way. 1873.
Okay, not quite as new as I thought.
A Japanese company, part of the Moonstar Company brand, we had this conversation with a fella from.
These are so. Look at these; they're so dinky. And
these are female versions.
I get that.
I would not get a toe in those.
I get that we are never going to embrace those.
And made in Japan.
These are beautiful.
Mrs. Bax. Now the name Shoe Like Pottery is quite weird. The reason why is they actually put these in a kiln.
Quite. That's how they do the rubber, isn't it?
Yeah, vulcanised rubber. They put them in a kiln. It
vulcanised.
What a name. What a word. I mean, come on. And it adds to the durability of them. And what I love is the blue sole, very identifiable, and a wax seal. A wax, like the old days,
Yeah.
every day.
It's a stamp of authority. Thank you very much. These are yours.
Away you go. But I wasn't allowed to bring the other one because I might get red wine on it. So I've only got one. She has got 2 feet, by the way, Mrs. Bax.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can.
Ruining.
And so can she. So can she.
That'll be fun. I think we've done our row here. I mean.
Well, the only one I got left is Vans. I mean, with Vans, I think we should go Vans.
We've got to talk Vans because Vans,
so important.
Because it goes back to where we started in terms of the deck shoe. Because fundamentally, what a van looks like a original version of, say, what you said, Paul Newman wore. There's no real change, is there, in the look?
Nothing's really. I mean, so we're talking.
They're newer, obviously.
We're talking 1966, the Van Doren brothers, with Serge Delia and Gordon Lee. I'm hoping it's the ex-Everton manager. I'm hoping it's the same fella. I'm hoping it is. I don't think it is, but
I'm totally sure.
I'm sure it is.
I'm totally sure it was.
They set up a pre-trainer company. They might describe it. I mean, it's just a Plim-Sole. And they struggle on for a few years, and then they get picked up by the burgeoning skateboarding community, and I will. The burgeoning skateboard community, who then.
By the way, at this stage, if we're not seeing Will's, because he was out
skateboarding earlier,
shooting shots of skateboards, we need to see a montage of this geezer's work at this stage. If he doesn't provide it, there's a problem.
So, the Van Doren brothers get involved with the. What they called? Oh my God! They called the Z Boys and the Dogtown Boys. Local skateboard community.
Thank God you got that right.
I've actually watched this. I watched the documentary on these guys.
It is brilliant, isn't it?
It's early 70s geezers in swimming pools, disused swimming pools.
It's mad.
It's a wonderful film. But anyway, these guys said, "Why don't you make these shoes for us? Why don't come?" As they say, come in, help design them. They help design them. Of course, they then go. They're wearing them in competitions and early skateboard magazines. The Vans name goes gangbusters, and it becomes a shoe of choice. They then do a slip-on version with a black and white checkerboard top.
And that is when life gets
worn
sweet.
by Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Fast Times in Ridgemont High, the film, I think. They supply them for the film. It goes mad, and the Vans writes itself.
I know.
And I saw a kid today, I would say 18-month-old, in a pair of Vans.
I took a picture on the station this morning of a girl wearing a pair.
Did you get nicked? You got nicked at all? No.
I was discreet as I possibly could. But the point being is because it's that simple idea. They're really flat. They're really durable. So, say, for example, you're on a skateboard one day, you need a shoe that just basically sits and grips on the skateboard.
Absolutely.
Guess what works well? And I love the stupid, slightly duck look of the toe. And the duck look of the toe goes all the way back to the very start of this conversation.
They haven't, if you look at these laid out in front of you here, they haven't.
Yeah.
The different companies, different countries.
Slightly more almond looking.
They haven't really changed that. No one's really gone any way too far away from the. But I saw the Vans this week, and I was obviously ready for this. I saw a blue and red version, and I thought, even at my silly old age, I'll get a pair of them, get my skateboard out the loft, and have a go. I won't be doing it.
Can I really recommend you don't do any of those?
I will not be doing it, but they look so attractive, the shoe, I thought I could really wear those.
And if anyone needs to feel they need to support Mark in his need to not literally do both of those things, please feel free to get in touch, because this was Clobbered.